Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Jason Weaver. I'm your host. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Moontoast. I'm thrilled that you took time out of your workday to join us for Black Hat Marketing Tricks that can poison your brand. I recommended this webinar to our marketing team a little while ago because I often see our clients and other folks do things that either violate terms and policies of different social sites or that might be illegal altogether. Sometimes folks get caught up in these different marketing tactics and unwillingly are doing things that are a violation of corporate policy or terms and conditions of other sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. So I think this is going to be a very interesting topic. I'm going to give just a couple of seconds for other folks to log in. And if you've never joined one of our webinars here before at Moontoast, welcome. We will record this webinar, and if folks in your office have missed it, or would like a copy of this webinar, of course, we'll send that link out within the next couple days. Give us time to compile it and put it together. So for those of you who don't know me, go ahead and advance that slide here. Oops, all right, a little delay there. I'm Jason Weaver. I'm the Chief Product and Marketing Officer of Moontoast. Moontoast is a fantastic company we're going to talk about in a second. I'm based out of the beautiful Nashville, Tennessee office. We also have an office in San Francisco and one in Boston as well. All beautiful offices, for the record. If you want to talk about us during today's broadcast, we would encourage you to do so. And I noticed this hashtag after the marketing department put your thing here, Black Hat Marketing. And I would just be thrilled to see your friends on Twitter reacting to this hashtag and seeing what you're talking about. So I would encourage you to talk about it as we go along. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I think it's about that time. Again, Moontoast, just a quick thing about us. We're a mobile marketing platform. We have an exceptionally easy-to-use marketing platform, and I'm biased because I'm the Chief Product Officer here, where you can log in, create, distribute, and track campaigns across any mobile device, right? Automatically conforms to any mobile device as well as social. We have the privilege of working with some of the world's top clients on a daily basis. This includes Procter & Gamble, Toyota, Vivo, Microsoft, etc. So we're very fortunate to have managed their campaigns for a long time in the social rich and mobile marketing spaces. So if you haven't checked out our platform yet, I would encourage you to do so. It's Apple easy to use. Just go to moontoast.com and request a demo. We'll have one of our folks get back to you right away and give you a quick walkthrough of our platform. You want to stay connected to us, and I encourage you to do so after today's webinar, because we always have great content coming out from our marketing team. You can do that on facebook.com/Moontoast. You, of course, can tweet anytime during this broadcast today at Moontoast. You can catch us on Google+, Pinterest, YouTube, and of course, our LinkedIn page. Also check out openings we have for jobs on that page as well if you're interested. So Black Hat Marketing, why did I want to do this webinar? Well, a lot of brands that I work with, and I've had the luxury of working with many different top companies over the years, are really interested in social and mobile technologies for their brand. And many of them have great ideas for contests, promotions, sweepstakes, different events, advertising tactics that they want to try with their brand. So often they don't, however, slow down to understand the terms and conditions of different websites with different rules when it comes to pushing out the marketing tactics. I've found myself in many situations where I've had to reel them back in just for the next time and slow down and really think through how that could violate terms and conditions. I also sit on a couple of boards of directors of different investment committees where companies are starting up in this space and not realizing that some of the tactics and techniques that they're going out to the market with may not be legal, ethical, or obviously violate these terms and conditions. So I just want to talk about some of these examples that I'm seeing out there, and you might be doing some of these today. And hopefully we can steer you right on the back course, the right course here, so that you'll be a white hat marketer, not a black hat marketer. And here we go. So just like the olden days, back in the 40s and 50s, we had the white hat, good guys, the black hat, the bad guys, right? I didn't invent this term, so, but that's what we we designate these for in the marketing world. Black hat technique obviously can have serious consequences. I've seen full brands get banned from Google. Now that would very much not be a good thing to happen. Imagine not appearing in a search engine whatsoever because one tiny thing that you did got you banned from Google. I have seen brands that I've worked with getting taken down from Facebook forever, right? So don't get yourself caught in these positions just because you failed to read the terms and conditions on these different websites, right? So I want to talk to you specifically about some of these things that I've seen that are illegal, unethical, or violation of terms and conditions of these different websites. First, you see this one all the time on Facebook, and it drives me crazy, especially my uncles and aunts, my mother, posting things on Facebook, and they don't even know that those different articles are a violation of terms and conditions of Facebook. The first one is called clickbait, right? And it drives me absolutely crazy personally. And what happens is you'll see a lot of friends that are sharing their articles or pictures or videos, and you'll always see the line like something like this, right? Is this next slide here, where it says, "You'll never believe which two stars got into a fight at the red carpet last night. Click to find out which starlet they were fighting over," right? Or you see the ones where there's pictures of something and you won't believe what happens next, right? That's clickbait. So it seems like a clever marketing strategy, but it's actually a very big violation of Facebook policy, right? So much so, they just released in an earnings statement that they're going to start combating companies and individuals that engage in clickbait, right? So the companies that are behind these things, maybe like this one, Lifestyle Weekly, are leveraging Facebook and its end users to get traffic back to their website. That's why I never do those stupid polls, right? Which city do you belong in, right? All of those things, as a marketing guy, I completely understand, is to drive traffic to these third-party sites. And that's where they monetize the heck out of them with advertising. They cookie, et cetera. We're going to explain about that too, because they can actually track you after you've been there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Doorway pages. Now this is interesting. So, it's been called many different things over the years, but this is basically creating a page that is not your website and not a landing page to funnel users into a single destination, right? Landing page is legit. Okay, those work on many different software platforms like HubSpot and Marketo, Primo and Eloqua and Pardot and all those create landing pages which are completely fine because they have contact information at the bottom of the page, which is a requirement. They have a sign-up form. They tell the offer that's going on, and they're not in any way misrepresenting where they're going to. Doorway pages, or as I like to call them, fishing lure pages, are exactly that. They try to hook your attention and get you sucked into a page that you will redirect you to somewhere else, right? Google's Webmaster Guidelines state very clearly, don't deceive your users. Avoid tricks intended to improve search engine rankings. You want to hear a story about somebody who did that? I bet you do. Here we go. BMW admittedly used doorway pages in their German website to influence search results to ensure their top rankings with BMW users were searched when searching for used cars. You know what happened as a result of that campaign? For a short time, thankfully they got it resolved, and claimed they didn't know, they were completely banned from Google. Completely banned from Google. Imagine being completely banned from Google, never appearing ever when somebody searches for you. That would be terrible, right? So they were using this tactic to try to drive traffic to the BMW site. One of the things that people do often with that is stick a whole bunch of keywords and meta tags, et cetera, into these different pages so that they appear higher in the search engine. And when they appear that higher in the search engine, because they contain all the relevant search terms, obviously, they redirect them to something like the BMW Germany site. So obviously not a good tactic. If you're considering doing something like this, you might want to rethink it. The next one I don't see as much anymore, but still one of the black hat marketing tricks you definitely don't want to try. Not just on Craigslist, but in any community or any website. This is not only unethical, it's actually illegal. This is called Craigslist Harvesting, right? I've seen a couple brands actually go out and try to reach end users on these third-party websites like Craigslist, eBay, et cetera, and try to collect results any way they can. So this is the task of collecting email addresses of people that are posting to Craigslist or even using Craigslist content as your own. And actually it resulted in a company that tried to do this, a pretty sizable lawsuit. This lawsuit was for a pad mapper. They were doing a mass harvesting of listings and displaying them somewhere else. Obviously, Craigslist caught on to this and sued them pretty substantially, and they were pulled down from doing that as well. 3Task was another brand that was doing mass harvesting and redistributing articles around to different Craigslist users, and many of them were used to collect specific user content and displaying the user information by zip code on a Google map on a third-party website. So you have so many violations in there, I can almost not even fit this in one sentence, right? Stealing pertinent information off a third-party website, repositioning that content on another website without permission, and then additionally, this one that was mapping everybody to Google Maps is showing everybody where these folks live, right? So that's invasion of privacy. So obviously, not only was that illegal, but they were sued for that and thus taken down. The other one is, remember I mentioned some of the clickbait sites where people go to these websites and then they're littered with ads. This one's called cookie stuffing, right? And no, it's not eating a bunch of Oreo cookies and stuffing them in your mouth. It's actually loading users' computers with fraudulent cookies. Cookies are tracking devices that are loaded on a page, and it kind of tracks you as you go through the internet. And a lot of my clients always wonder, how we can do that legally. Well, it's actually a legal tactic if cookies are enabled on your browser, and you can actually disable those. But that's how all of those ads seem very relevant to you. When you go to a Facebook thing and you click on something about a bicycle, and then you go to another website and you see an ad about a bicycle, and you're like, wow, I'm just thinking about bicycles. Less cookie, right? So imagine cookie stuffers, right? They're doing this illegitimately, going out there and making sure that you're seeing their ads based on the cookies that they've collected about you across the internet. Highly unethical and violates a lot of policies against Google, Facebook, etc. All right. So hopefully you guys are enjoying yourself right now. I'm so anxious to get the questions at the end here. Cloaking is a different strategy. This is showing different websites to a search engine, robots, and users. So this is actually coming up with something totally different when they're searching for something specifically, right? This includes, fast forward here, serving a page of HTML text to search engines and showing images or flash files to users, or inserting text or keywords into a page only when it's a search engine and not a human. So again, this kind of goes along with some of the other tactics we talked about, stuffing a lot of information into a single page or multiple pages and using those to kind of lure back to a master page. Very big violation of policy for Google. So just another example, trafficpower.com used improper SEO tactics. You got clients banned, their clients, right? So this was their clients from Google and Yahoo, right? And again, I can think of no worse punishment ever than getting banned from a search engine in today's day and age with the internet. So not only are there unethical, illegal tactics that are happening, but sometimes clients just bend the rules a little bit of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I want to talk about some of these policies. For example, one I know off the top of my head for Facebook is you're not allowed to talk about firearms on Facebook, right? People do that rather than users, right? There's certain rules when it comes to talking about alcohol, right? When you're running a contest, you have to kind of completely disavow all of the Facebook policies and yourself, distance yourself from Facebook so they don't accept that responsibility. Let's talk about this first one. Google's guidelines. Google has strict guidelines that are meant to actually help marketers in the long run and are great to keep marketers at the top of mind. So many of these policies, if you get into them well and you follow them, are there to help you. Right? Google's guidelines, they cover international content, mobile content, link schemes, redirect, comments, spam, and more. There are so many black hat marketing tactics that I see people using inadvertently that you should probably, after this webinar, go and just look at the different policies from Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Twitter, any of those sites you're participating on. Chances are, I'd say within about 30% certainty on each of those that you're doing one thing that you should dial back in. Facebook promotions. So Facebook promotions is something we do every day, and I want to talk to you about some of those before I go on to the next one here. There are extensive rules to follow when posting on Facebook, right? Like I mentioned with a contest, each entrant or participant has to sign an acknowledgement or have acknowledgement as part of your promotion that you're doing on Facebook that is in no way associated with Facebook. Facebook doesn't want to have any liability when it comes to your contest promotion. Personal timelines can also not be used to administer promotions. I mentioned that I sit on an investment board for venture capital firms. We're looking at different companies, right, to invest in. One of the young entrepreneurs that come into this boardroom is pitching an idea for a new type of contest, right, where these people will take their end user content, whether it's videos or photos, etc., and they will get points or promotions for promoting those on their individual timelines, right, encouraging people to enter these contests, etc., right? And they were doing that through personal photos, not company photos, but personal photos, and kind of gamifying that as they go. Well, as I did the due diligence for this investment committee, I found out that tactic was a violation of Facebook policies. Needless to say, they didn't make that investment. Twitter guidelines. There are extensive rules to follow when posting your brand's Twitter page, but most importantly, there are ones that keep out of black hat marketing tricks. Ads making misleading or deceptive claims are prohibited, such as get-rich-quick offers. Now, many of you, I'm sure, don't offer those kind of programs, right? But it's very easy when you have tens of millions of posts per minute on Twitter to see these different kinds of tactics coming in place, right? Additionally, there's other violations of these different policies when it comes to Twitter where people are following you and then you go follow them back, and now they can communicate with you, direct message with you, and they spam you, right? So be careful of who you accept those follows from and who you can directly connect with, because a lot of times they're bending the rules, or violating the rules, rather, of Twitter in ways that they shouldn't be. In a nutshell, all advertisers should be honest and transparent about their products and services they offer. They should include ample information and relevant disclaimers about the products you provide. Do not direct users to phishing links, malware, or harmful code. Most of you, all of you on the phone wouldn't do that. But you'd be surprised on how many folks I see violating Twitter's policy. Instead of black hat, try white hat marketing, right? Be the good guys, not the bad guys. Some companies offer white hat automation software, creating safe but effective practices in general. As long as you know the guidelines, you'll be staying out of trouble. There are many different software platforms that know the right from wrong. Moonshow's one of those. I'd encourage you to sign up for a demo. Marketing automation software, obviously, with landing pages, completely legal. They know their violation of policies and how to make sure you don't get in trouble. They have contact information at the footer of every page. Email companies, Emma, MailChimp, ExactTarget, etc., know how to not violate these policies, right? That's why they require contact information and how to unsubscribe, etc. Make sure you study up on those policies and that you completely understand what you're getting into before you get started. So I see a plethora of questions coming in here, and I want to take that second to answer some of these. Let me pull up my questions here and see where we're at. So, question 1, what is happening to brands that are using clickbait on Facebook? All right, that's one thing that I absolutely cannot stand. And it says, the answer, what I say, is they'll see a huge decrease in reach. You're going to see Facebook cracking down on this enormously in the next, I'd say, 30 days. Actually, they just put out a statement about clickbait, and I can't wait, because I don't know about you, but my news feed is cluttered up with, you won't believe what she did next. Right? All of that is clickbait, and that is going to be by the wayside pretty soon. Question number 2 here. Let's see, pull this up. Is there a limit to the number of keywords a web page can have? Google has a set algorithm for the number of pages, so central content. Currently, I think is around 2 to 4% of the total content. And I do know, because I've done a lot of SEO kind of stuff for clients, that there's a limit of the different keywords you can stuff into a page. Beyond that, it could actually hurt you, right? So they'll pull it down. So make sure that you know what the limit is, and it's obviously on the Google page. Question 3. There's a lot of questions coming in. You speak a lot about black hat to avoid. Do you have any white hat tactics that you found particularly successful? Yeah, landing pages work well, right? So those are different than the phishing lure pages that I talked about, where you're just gating the system to redirect. Landing pages is actually like a microsite, a page that has content, information, etc. is valuable. Often there's a form, contact information, always a way back to your main website. Don't do those road blocker pages where you're stuck and can't get to another site. That is a violation of policy. So those work. Obviously, social media, mobile marketing, I think works. That's why I have this page out here at Moontoast. So there's a lot of effective campaigns that work that can increase user engagement. Part of what we do at Moontoast is we study the market. We have a series of social media ads that work increasing user engagement, encouraging pass alongs, completely ethical, and obviously non-violation of any policy. Is there an easy way to fix a site that has been banned from Google? Pray. No. No specifically easy way, but I suggest identifying any bad links to the pages. And you know what? I would contact Google directly. I would actually pick up the phone and call them and say, I made a terrible mistake. I am BMW Germany. I made a terrible mistake. Please do not ban me from the internet forever. I would like to live. Joking, but that's definitely something to be aware of. You know, folks, I think the most important thing here is to read things before you go into any kind of external engagement. Many times people I see violating uses on sweepstakes and contests that are doing something that's just a little bit out of character. And if you can just adjust your strategy slightly, you'll be golden. So I think that would be an awesome thing for you to do, is to go read these tactics and strategies before you start. So, all right, so we're going to give away a Roku streaming stick, and I'm at the end of my webinar. So for those of you that tweet to either at Moontoast or Black Hat Marketing, the hashtag, and we're going to select a winner at random to get that cool device, I would encourage you to do so. Let me know how I did in this webinar too. I love doing these things, and if this provided value for you, let us know what we can do to improve, or say great job on Twitter, and we'll go forward from there. And we will package this up, like I said, in a couple days and distribute that out to those of you who might have missed it. Again, I'm Jason Weaver, Chief Product Officer at Moontoast. I thank you for your time with us today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.